In this lesson, we're going to look at adding simple macros. The first thing you need to do is make sure that the developer ribbon is turned on. To do that, you go to File, Options, Customize Ribbon, and make sure that down the side that this is ticked. So this developer is ticked. I already ticked mine, so it's already open here. I click on Developer and I click on Macro Security, and I make sure that this is checked. Enable all macros and trust access to the VPA project object model. Okay. For this, we're going to create two macros. One at the start of the presentation and one at the end of the presentation. I go into macros and I'm going to call this hello. Okay. Welcome to presentation. Okay. And I am going to create. Here I am going to put MSG box space bracket and welcome to my close bracket, and I need to put these in inverted commas. Okay, I'm now going to go to File, Close. I'm going to hit on macro and I'm going to hit Run. Welcome to my CV presentation. The message box comes up. Okay. I now want to add this as an action button. So some of the action buttons can possibly be here, but I'm just going to insert an old action button. So I'm going to go to Shapes and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to maybe put a home button. Okay. And then I'm going to go Run Macro Hello and OK. Okay. I can then edit this to maybe make it a bit more, it's blue is the automatic one. I might make it more like this or more like this, depending on what my presentation is like. Okay. I'm now going to put a new slide. Now this will be my end slide at the end of the presentation, and I'm going to insert a new macro. So I'm going to go to Developer. I'm going to go to Macros, and it's not going to let me create another macro. Okay, so I'm going to close down and I'm going to go to Developer again, and I'm going to go to Visual Basic, and I'm going to Edit, Insert, and I'm going to insert another module. Okay, and this is going to be Module 2, and I can call this something else if I wish. Okay, so I can call this goodbye. And here I need to put the same message that's in my other one. So it needs to be sub, but this one is going to be goodbye. Okay, and 2 commas. And then I'm going to have message box. Thank you for viewing CV presentation. I am available for interview at your earliest convenience. Close message. Okay, I'm going to go back in to my close and return to PowerPoint. I'm going to go into macros, and here is goodbye, and I'm going to run it, and there you have it. Okay, I now need to insert this into an action button. So I go to Insert, I go to Shapes, I go down, and that was home, so I don't know, let me see, movie, I'm going to pop this one in, it doesn't really matter, goodbye, okay, and I don't really like that though, I just go back to my shapes. Run macro, okay, I'm going to delete this one, and I am going to format it so that it's the same as my first one, and here. Okay, and now if I go to slideshow from beginning, I know that if I click this, it will come up welcome to my presentation. I go okay. I click onto the next slide, and if I click on this, it will go thank you for viewing my CV presentation. Okay, so we've got two message boxes and two action buttons. The thing that's quite good for this is if you were doing a presentation, maybe to a class or as a training session, and you wanted to forward that presentation onto your group, but maybe give them an option of doing a quiz at the end to answer multiple choice questions. You could mark certain questions as being correct, so a message box might pop up and say correct, well done, or it might pop up and say you're wrong, try again. Okay, so that's a good way to use macros for these kind of things, as well as the printing, which we talked about. Okay, thank you very much.